In the electric car world, Tesla is the name that comes first. It's the lightning rod brand, the one you picture when you hear EV revolution. Millions of buyers, bold press, massive online buzz. But what if I told you that some of the most exciting electric vehicles today aren't just keeping pace with Tesla's lineup, they're overtaking it? These aren't fringe startups or niche curiosities. They're major automakers, bold challengers, redefining what an EV should be. Longer range, smarter charging, refined luxury, driving feel you'd expect from a sports sedan. All wrapped in ownership value that makes Tesla's beta software first formula look like yesterday's tech demo. So today, we're diving deep into 5 electric cars that are crushing Tesla's lineup. Each one brings a unique advantage. Each one proves the benchmark isn't safe from being surpassed. And if you enjoy this ride, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps this channel continue delivering quality, deep dive information to you. All right, buckle up. Let's get started. Kicking off our list at number 7, the Kia EV6. On the surface, it's a stylish crossover from a brand known for value. But underneath, the EV6 is one of the smartest pieces of EV engineering on the road right now. And in a few key areas, it makes Tesla's mainstream models look a little behind the curve. First, charging. The EV6 is built on an 800-volt architecture, something you usually see on 6-figure German EVs. That allows the battery to pull serious power from a fast charger. In real-world tests, the EV6 can go from low state of charge to about 80% in well under 20 minutes. And more importantly, it adds miles of range faster than many Teslas. While a Tesla might flash a higher peak number on the screen, the Kia holds higher charging speeds for longer, so you spend less time parked and more time driving. Range is solid too. In its long-range rear-wheel drive form, the EV6 delivers over 300 miles on a full charge under the right conditions. Even the all-wheel drive models land in that comfortable, don't-worry-about-it zone for daily use and weekend trips. You're not staring at the range gauge in panic. You're just living your life. Inside, the EV6 feels like a car designed by people who actually drive every day. The cabin is modern and futuristic, but it doesn't force everything through a single screen. You get a clean, curved display for your instruments and infotainment, plus physical controls for climate and essential functions. No digging 3 menus deep just to turn on the defroster. It's the kind of user experience that makes ownership less stressful than some of Tesla's figure-it-out minimalism. And then there's versatility. The EV6 offers vehicle-to-load capability, which means your car can power tools, appliances, even charge another EV if needed. It's basically a giant battery on wheels that can keep the lights on in a pinch. Tesla doesn't offer that on its current lineup. From the driver's seat, the EV6 feels planted and confident. Steering is crisp, the ride is well damped, and the all-wheel drive models have enough punch to make highway merges and backroad runs genuinely fun. If you want more insanity, the EV6 GT goes into "this shouldn't be this fast" territory. But even in regular trims, the car feels composed and mature. Put simply, the Kia EV6 crushes Tesla in how usable, flexible, and friendly it feels day to day. It proves you don't have to buy a Tesla to get a cutting-edge EV, and you might even get a better experience if you don't. If the EV6 is the stealth overachiever, our next car comes from the same family, and shows how far design and comfort can go. Sliding into number 6, the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Think of this as the EV that took the world by surprise. On paper, the Ioniq 5 shares a lot with the EV6. Same platform, same 800-volt backbone, but in practice, it brings its own personality, and it hits Tesla where it hurts: practicality and refinement. The first thing people notice is the design. The Ioniq 5 looks like a concept car that somehow escaped the auto show and made it into production. Sharp lines, pixel-style lights, short overhangs, and that hatchback meets crossover stance make it stand out in a parking lot full of jelly bean crossovers, including Tesla's own. Range and charging? Same story as the EV6. Very strong. The long-range rear-wheel drive version can comfortably cross the 300-mile mark. And thanks to that 800-volt system, fast charging sessions are quick and efficient. You pull up, plug in, and by the time you've grabbed a drink and scrolled your phone, you've added a serious chunk of range. It's the kind of charging performance that used to be Tesla's calling card, and Hyundai has quietly matched, and in some cases, out-executed it. Inside, the Ioniq 5 feels like a lounge on wheels. The flat floor and long wheelbase give you legroom that rivals some mid-size SUVs. Seats are comfortable, the sliding center console can move to make extra space, and the overall vibe is calm and airy. The interior design is modern without feeling cold. You get digital screens, yes, but also thoughtful storage and physical controls where they matter. Hyundai also leans heavily into practicality. There's a frunk up front, plenty of cargo room in the back, and even a reclining zero-gravity position in some trims so you can actually relax while charging. And just like the EV6, the Ioniq 5 can power external devices with vehicle-to-load, turning road trips and camping into something closer to glamping. Where it crushes Tesla is balance. Tesla's models can feel laser-focused on tech and performance. The Ioniq 5 feels like it was built around people. It's quiet, comfortable, and easy to live with, while still giving you the performance and range you expect from a modern EV. If the EV6 and Ioniq 5 represent smart, livable EVs, the next car leans harder into driving feel and shows Tesla how a performance sedan is really done. At number 5, the BMW i4. This is where the discussion shifts from crossovers and practicality to performance and poise. Tesla has owned the narrative on fast electric sedans for years, especially with the Model 3 and Model S. But the i4 proves that when a company with decades of sports sedan experience gets serious about EVs, the result hits different. In its sportier trims, the i4 can sprint from 0 to 60 in the low 3-second range, absolutely in Tesla territory. But BMW doesn't stop at straight-line numbers. The real story is how the i4 feels when the road turns twisty. Steering has weight and feedback. The chassis feels balanced, planted, and predictable. You can sense where the grip is, and the car communicates what it's doing instead of just rocketing you forward in silence. Inside, the i4 brings proper luxury sport sedan vibes. High-quality materials, supportive seats, and a cockpit that still respects the idea of a driver-focused layout. You get a modern curved display and all the connectivity you expect. But you also get real buttons and knobs for things you use constantly. You don't have to relearn how to drive a car just because it's electric. In a crushing Tesla sense, the i4's major advantage is that it feels like a complete car, not a tech product on wheels. Panel gaps line up. Switchgear feels solid. The interior doesn't rattle over bumps, and when you push it, the suspension and brakes feel tuned for spirited driving, not just maximizing range scores. The i4 also benefits from BMW's global service and dealer network. When something goes wrong, you're not hoping there's a service center within reasonable distance or waiting on a mobile tech. You're dealing with infrastructure that's been in place for years. If you're the kind of buyer who likes the idea of an EV but still wants a car that behaves like a traditional sports sedan, the i4 is a powerful argument. It shows that you don't have to accept compromise to go electric. But if the BMW i4 shows how an EV can feel from behind the wheel, our next one shows how an EV can feel from behind the nameplate. Coming in at number 4, the Ford Mustang Mach-E. Tesla made electric SUVs cool. Ford took an icon, electrified it, and made them approachable. The Mach-E is more than a badge play. Yes, the Mustang name on an SUV is controversial, but that heritage brings expectations of character, and the Mach-E largely delivers. You get strong acceleration, responsive steering, and a sense of fun that a lot of crossovers just don't have. Range depends on the battery and drivetrain, but the extended range versions give you what most buyers need: the ability to commute, run errands, and do out-of-town trips without babying the throttle. The performance-oriented GT trims push into genuinely quick territory, with 0 to 60 times in the mid 3-second range when conditions are right. That's firmly in Tesla Model Y performance territory. Inside, the Mach-E splits the difference between traditional and futuristic. There's a large vertical touchscreen for most of the infotainment and settings, but Ford keeps an instrument cluster in front of the driver and retains some physical controls. The cabin feels familiar enough that you aren't overwhelmed, but modern enough that it doesn't feel like a retrofitted gas SUV. Where the Mach-E really crushes Tesla is in accessibility and support. Ford has an enormous dealer network. That means more service locations, more parts availability, and, in many cases, shorter wait times for repairs. For everyday buyers who aren't die-hard early adopters, that peace of mind matters as much as range or 0 to 60 times. And as charging networks open up and more partnerships come online, the Mach-E is getting easier to road trip, especially in markets where public fast charging is expanding quickly.
The Mach-E proves something important. The EV revolution doesn't just belong to tech companies.
Legacy automakers can adapt, and when they do it right, they offer familiarity, confidence, and support that Tesla sometimes struggles to match. If Ford shows how a household name can go electric, the next EV on this list shows how a brand new name can change what we expect from range and luxury. At number 3, the Lucid Air. If Tesla's bragging rights were built on long range and quick acceleration, the Lucid Air shows up and says, "Let's see how far we can really go." Certain versions of the Air deliver over 500 miles of rated range on a single charge. That's not a marketing fantasy. It's a genuine step beyond what Tesla's current flagship can do. For someone who wants to crush range anxiety into dust and drive serious distances between stops, the Air sets the new benchmark. But the range is just the beginning. Step inside, and the Lucid Air feels like a proper luxury car. You're surrounded by high-quality materials, a spacious cabin, and design details that feel more high-end boutique than mass-produced tech gadget. The glass canopy, the sweeping digital display, the minimalist but warm interior, it all sends a message. This is a luxury EV first, a tech product second. Charging performance is right at the top of the game. With its ultra-high voltage system, the Air can add a huge amount of range in a short DC fast charging session. In practical terms, that means long stretches of driving and short, efficient stops. Tesla still has the most famous network, but in many places now, third-party fast chargers are strong enough that Lucid drivers can travel confidently without feeling like second-class citizens. On the road, the Air isn't just fast, it's composed. Power delivery is instant and smooth, ride quality is refined, and the car strikes a balance between comfort and control that feels more like a high-end German sedan than a tech experiment. It's the kind of car you can drive hard when you want to, but also relax in for hours at a time. Against Tesla, the Lucid Air crushes on 3 fronts: range, refinement, and presence. It proves that the top tier of EVs isn't just about numbers, it's about how those numbers are wrapped and how they feel. And if the regular Lucid Air can trade blows with Tesla's fastest models, the next version turns the dial up to absurd. Sitting at number 2, the Lucid Air Sapphire. If the standard Air is Lucid's shot at the Model S, the Sapphire is their shot at the whole performance car world. This is a tri-motor monster with 4-figure horsepower and acceleration that borders on the ridiculous. We're talking 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds when conditions are right, quarter-mile times that stack up with hypercars, and enough thrust to make seasoned performance car owners question everything they thought they knew about speed. But here's the key difference between something like the Sapphire and a lot of straight-line specials. It doesn't fall apart when the road gets interesting. Lucid tuned the chassis, brakes, and suspension for serious driving. You get massive brakes, performance-focused tires, and software-controlled torque vectoring that lets the car pivot into corners and fire out of them with confidence. It isn't just a drag strip toy. It's a weapon on a twisty road or a track.
Inside, the Sapphire still gives you the luxury and tech of the regular Air. You're surrounded by that same high-end interior, expansive glass, and polished design. You can daily drive this car in comfort, then embarrass supercars on the weekends without swapping vehicles. In a crushing Tesla sense, the Sapphire goes right after the Model S Plaid's crown. It matches the insane acceleration, but adds a deeper layer of composure, refinement, and brand newness that makes it feel like the next generation rather than just another spec war. For most people, the Sapphire will be a dream, not a driveway reality, but its existence matters. It shows that even at the absolute peak of performance, Tesla is no longer alone. And if Lucid represents the cutting edge of American EV performance, our number one spot belongs to a car that represents something even bigger, the global wave that's coming next. Taking the crown at number one, the BYD Seal. This is the car a lot of people in the West still haven't heard of. And that's exactly why you should pay attention. Because while Tesla has been building its story, BYD has been quietly building an empire. The Seal is a sleek electric sedan that, on paper, lines up directly against cars like the Model 3. But look a little closer, and you see why it earns the top spot on this list. First, performance and range. The higher-spec versions of the Seal boast strong acceleration, quick enough to hang with Tesla's dual-motor setups, and very competitive range figures that put it firmly in the drive-all-week territory for most owners. It's not a compromise EV. It's designed from the ground up to meet or beat global expectations. Underneath, the Seal uses BYD's in-house Blade battery, a lithium iron phosphate design that focuses on safety, stability, and longevity. This chemistry is more resistant to overheating and degradation, and BYD has been mass-producing it at a scale few companies can match. That combination of performance plus robustness is a huge selling point for long-term owners. Inside, the Seal's cabin feels modern and feature-packed. You get big screens, contemporary design, and a level of tech integration that makes it feel like a serious competitor, not a budget alternative. In markets where it is sold, drivers are discovering that the Seal doesn't feel like a cheaper copy of a Tesla. It feels like a genuine alternative, and in some ways, an upgrade. But the biggest reason the Seal tops this list is what it symbolizes. BYD is already one of the largest EV manufacturers in the world by volume. The Seal is just one of the sharper arrows in its quiver. As these cars spread to more markets, Tesla won't just be facing one or two challengers. It will be facing a wave of them, built by companies that can match its scale and efficiency. Tesla built the hill. BYD is bringing an army up it. The Seal proves that the EV future isn't just American or European, it's global. And in that global race, Tesla is no longer the automatic winner. So there you have it. Tesla kicked the door open for electric cars, and they deserve credit for that. But being first doesn't mean staying alone at the top. These 7 EVs prove the game has changed. Kia EV6, the everyday overachiever with supercar-grade charging and real-world usability. Hyundai Ioniq 5, a retro-futuristic lounge on wheels that makes practicality look cool. BMW i4, a proper driver's EV with sports sedan feel and premium refinement. Ford Mustang Mach-E, heritage, character, and mainstream appeal, all wrapped in one electric SUV. Lucid Air, ultra-long range and true luxury that pushes beyond Tesla's original playbook. Lucid Air Sapphire, hypercar acceleration and high-end comfort in one unhinged package. BYD Seal, the global disruptor that shows just how serious the competition has become. They're not imitating Tesla. They're evolving past it, each in their own way. So, if you've always thought Tesla's lineup was the only answer in the EV world, it might be time to rethink that. Because the future of electric cars isn't a one-brand story anymore. It's a battle, and the challengers have arrived. Would you ever switch from gas to electric completely? Or do you think hybrids are the smarter middle ground? Let us know in the comments. If this breakdown helped you see the EV landscape differently, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and lets me keep bringing you deeper, more honest car content. And make sure to watch the next video. Until next time, Drive smart, drive electric, and choose the car that doesn't just lead, it outpaces the rest.